In this lecture, we'll learn about the keyboard tag, the code tag, the pre tag, and the BR tag. For that, what we'll do is we'll first create a new document. I'm going to call this as 08 KBD code pre and BR, and we'll call this as HTML. Okay, so let me close this one. And here, first thing what we'll do is we will try to use the KBD tag. Sometimes we want to display a keyboard shortcut on the web page. For example, let me create a simple paragraph. So let me just try that again. So here we can call this as you can use Shift plus Alt plus down arrow to duplicate a line in VS Code. Okay, so this is what we want to display in the browser. So save that. Let's copy this path. Let's get to the browser. Let's check that. As you can see, it looks like a simple paragraph. Let's try adding the KBD tag before the shift and after the down arrow. So let's get back to our code. And here, I'm going to call this as KBD. And I'm going to take this KBD closing tag and paste it after the down arrows. Paste it over here. Let's get back and let's hit refresh. Here you can see that we use the KBD tag to make the shortcut look like a code. With the help of CSS, you can do even more. We will look into it later. As you can see, the KBD tag is inside the line, which makes it an inline element. Now let's try something new. Let's get back to our code. And what we're going to do is we're going to create a simple paragraph. And here I'm going to write a text called you need to use h2 tag. I don't need the closing tag here because I want to display this on the browser. Tag after the h1 tag. Okay, so again, I don't need this tag. Okay, so basically what I want is I want the h2 and h1 display as a text on the browser. So let's get back over here. Let's hit refresh. Now you can see they kind of rendered as the heading tags. So what we need to do now is instead of using the h tags directly as the tags, we can use the less sign and the greater than sign. Let's get back to our code. And here, instead of this less than sign, what we'll do is we'll use something called as HTML entities. So it's going to be ampersand less than sign. Okay, and then for this one, it's going to be ampersand greater than sign. Let's do the same thing for the h1. I'm going to call this as ampersand less than semicolon, and then we're going to do the same thing over here. So we'll say ampersand greater than semicolon. Let's save that. Let's see how that looks. If I get to the browser now, if I hit refresh, now you can see that we can see the tags as text on the browser, but it doesn't look like code. It looks like basic text. So this is where the code tag comes in. So we can get back to our code, and here I can write in a code tag. Now I can take this and put it over here. Let's do the same thing over here. I'm going to use the code tag. I'm going to take this one, then paste it over here. Let's save that. Let's see how that looks. If I refresh, now it looks much better. There are like hundreds of HTML entities out there. You can look it up on Google and use them as you like. We will also cover some of them in this course. Sometimes we want to write a paragraph, but we want the line breaks. For example, let's get back to our code, and here what we can do is we can write in a simple paragraph, and here I'm going to say I was out there. Then I'll give a line break. I'm going to call this as in the rain. Okay, then I'm going to give another line break for God to show me a sign. So basically what I'm doing here is I need to provide line breaks so that they can come one below the other. To do that, if I get back here and if I refresh, you can see that it all looks like one single text. But in order to give line breaks, we can use the BR tag. Okay, so let me just copy this, paste it over here again. Now if I check that out, you can see now we have the line breaks. BR tag is something called as blank tags. These tags don't have a closing tag. They are as simple as they look. But there are times when we want to display a huge list of code. For example, let's say we want to write a simple JavaScript and you want to display that. So for this, what we can do is we can use a paragraph tag. And here I'm going to say let x is equals to 5. Then I'm going to say let y is equals to 15. Then say let result is equals to x plus y. Then we're going to print that in the browser, say document.write, and then here we can simply say result. Okay, so this is a basic addition kind of thing what we're doing. But if I get to the browser and if I refresh, you can see it all looks like one single line. It doesn't look like a code. Now, if I start using the KBD tag and code tag for each and everything, that's going to look really bad. And also, KBD and code tag are inline elements, so I will have to break them on every line. So instead, what we can do is we can use something called as a pre-tag. Okay, so just cut this and paste it over here. And let's save that. Now, if I run this in the browser, it shows as a plain simple text. Pre-tag is called as pre-formatted text tag. So anything you write inside the pre-tag is pre-formatted to its original style. So everything here works like the spaces and the line breaks.